Raila Amolo Odinga was born on 7th January 1945, Maseno, Kenya. Odinga is the son of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the first Vice President of Kenya. After earning a master's degree in mechanical engineering in East Germany in 1970, Odinga returned to Kenya to become a lecturer at the University of Nairobi. During his time at the university, Odinga also engaged in engineering-related business ventures, including one that would later become East Africa Spectra Limited. He left the university in 1970 and was soon employed by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, where he attained the position of Deputy Director in 1978. In the 1970s and 1980s, Odinga was politically active and supported government reforms in Kenya. In 1982, he was accused of plotting against President Daniel Arap Moi and was imprisoned without trial for 6 years. After Odinga's release, he was twice arrested for campaigning against one-party rule, and in 1991, he sought refuge in Norway. He returned to Kenya in 1992, however, and was elected a member of the National Assembly that year under the banner of the Forum for the Restoration of Democracy Kenya (FORD-K), the party led by his father. After his father's death in 1994, Odinga became embroiled in a leadership struggle with the party and in 1996 left FORD-Kenya and joined the National Development Party (NDP). In 1997, Odinga stood unsuccessfully as the NDP's candidate for election as President of Kenya but was able to retain his seat in the National Assembly. He and the NDP thereafter gave their support to Moi and the ruling Kikuyu-dominated Kenya African National Union (KANU). Odinga joined Moi's cabinet as Energy Minister in 2001 and the NDP was absorbed into the ruling party the following year, with Odinga becoming Secretary General of KANU. Odinga's hope of succeeding Moi as KANU's candidate for the president in the 2002 elections was shattered when Moi called upon the party to support Uhuru Kenyatta, son of former President Jomo Kenyatta. Several KANU members, including Odinga, formed the Rainbow Alliance within the party in protest of the choice, and they instead advocated for a vote among KANU members to determine the party's presidential candidate. Their pleas went unheeded and KANU officially named Kenyatta as its candidate a few months later. In response, Odinga and the Rainbow Alliance left KANU and formed the Liberal Democratic Party (LDP). The LDP soon joined with a coalition of several parties, the National Alliance of Kenya (NAK), to form the National Rainbow Coalition under the leadership of former Vice President Mwai Kibaki, himself a Kikuyu. Although terms of agreement between the LDP and NAK were not completely revealed to the public, the two parties reportedly promised to equitably share cabinet posts and power, including naming Odinga to the new, strong Prime Minister post that would be created if Kibaki were elected president. NAK's efforts to challenge KANU were successful, and Kibaki was elected president in December 2002, the first non-KANU president in independent Kenya's history. NAK candidates, including Odinga, won more than half of the seats in the National Assembly. Problems between the LDP and NAK continued, leading to the collapse of the NAK coalition in 2006. Meanwhile, Odinga had already formed a new coalition, the Orange Democratic Movement (ODM). In the months prior to the 2007 presidential and legislative elections, Kibaki formed his own coalition, the Party of National Unity (PNU). During the campaign, Odinga sought to dispel the perceived grievances of some Western Kenya ethnic groups by denouncing corruption in high places and by campaigning for a fairer distribution of land and the devolvement of power to largely single ethnic districts councils.